All right, guys, so I got my regs laid out here. There's actually 4 different reg sets here. And the trick that I'm going to show you today comes with the DIN connectors, so these little threads of your DIN connector here of your first stage, and the little DIN cap as well. Now, if you look in, take you over here in the light. If you look in really quick, you'll see all that white build up in there. And what can happen, especially if you're going, say, from one environment to the next, so maybe I'm going from fresh to salt or salt to fresh, either way, if you get any salt crystallization build up on these threads whatsoever, whenever you go to put your cap on and then say you fly back home, by the time you get back home, it only takes a day or two to get that crystallization in there to where you cannot get this cap off. What's up, guys? It's Brian again from Lake Hickory Scuba and Marine. If you're new to our channel, do me a huge favor. Hit this little subscribe button right here and ding that little bell as well. That way you guys are going to be notified every time we upload new content. Now, I got a really quick video for you, but I want to show you something really quick that you can do with your regulators anytime that you're going on a dive trip, especially if you're traveling like we do from, say, a freshwater environment over to a saltwater environment, or even vice versa. A lot of times I'll do this moving from a saltwater environment over to a freshwater environment as well. So that being said, let's jump over here. Let's take a quick look at my regulators really quick, and I'm going to show you a neat little trick that you can do. All right, guys, so I got my regs laid out here. There's actually 4 different reg sets here. And the trick that I'm going to show you today comes with the DIN connectors, so these little threads of your DIN connector here of your first stage, and the little DIN cap as well. Now, if you look in, take you over here in the light. If you look in really quick, you'll see all that white build up in there. And what can happen, especially if you're going, say, from one environment to the next, so maybe I'm going from fresh to salt or salt to fresh, either way, if you get any salt crystallization build up on these threads whatsoever, whenever you go to put your cap on and then say you fly back home, by the time you get back home, it only takes a day or two to get that crystallization in there to where you cannot get this cap off. So I'm going to show you a neat little trick that I do to make sure I can always get this cap off in between trips or even in between cleaning of the regs. All right, guys, so the very first thing I do is I get me a little bit of diving silicone here. This is just from XS Scuba here. Nothing really fancy. You can use Trident lube. You can use whatever you've got, but it's just silicone lube. Now, if your cap kind of looks like mine does, I don't know if the camera will show you in there, you do want to get it cleaned out very good. Let's take one off. This one's very smooth, so this one probably don't have as much buildup. Yeah, that one don't have as much buildup on that one there. So we'll actually use this one for the video purposes. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of silicone, get it on my finger, just like that. Perfect. And I'm just going to rub it around those threads, just like that. Perfect. Now, when I go to screw this cap on, it's going to give a protective layer of silicone between the threads of the cap and the threads of the regulator. And this does not hurt your regulator in any way, shape, or form. This is some of the same lubricant that we put on the internal parts as well, and on the O-rings and all that. And now if there's any bit of corrosion buildup from your actual trip, because obviously you're going to clean your regs after your dives and after your dive trip, but if you've got to fly back, if you got several days driving back or whatnot, sometimes some people won't even put their caps back on. I like to put the caps on because it protects the threads there, but I will put some silicone in these caps, and that way it gives that protective layer. It does not allow that salt crystallization to stick between the threads of the first stage and the threads of these caps as well, and it makes things very smooth. Now, obviously, when you get back home, you want to make sure that you clean it out very well and that you do a good thorough cleaning. You may have to do a full overhaul, but yeah, it's a really simple trick. Just take you a little bit of silicone there, wipe it up in the threads, and I just kind of spin it around there, and then I'll thread this guy back on. And it's really smooth with that silicone, but it prevents that corrosion from sticking if you happen to get any corrosion during your trip. And just like that, we've got a nice lubricated cap on our threads, and we can very easily, once we get back to our home or wherever we're at, we can very easily just unscrew it, take it off, wash our regs out really good, and you will be good to go. Guys, that's just my neat little instructor tip for you today. Now, once again, this does not say that you can neglect your regs. As I've said several times in this video, please make sure you're cleaning your regs appropriately. However, sometimes on trips, you might not have a good cleaning station to do it. You just got a little bit of fresh, clean water. Another little thing I do, of course, is keep a little chamois cloth with me as well. That way I can kind of dry it off really good before I fly home. But take this silicone here and, of course, put it in the threads of your regulators, and you'll be much happier for it, especially when you get back home after a several day trip. Maybe you're flying or driving and you can't get these caps off, well, the silicone's going to help you do that as well. But always take good care of your regs, but these little tricks will help you along the way. But guys, if you like this tip, give me a big thumbs up. If you got any questions, comments, or concerns, drop a comment down below. We'll discuss. But until our next video, take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.